From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Evening Edition.
I'm Andrea Nakano. We begin in Russia, where a potential uprising that could have potentially turned the tide in the war in Ukraine is over after mere hours. The leader of Belarus announced he brokered a deal between Russia and the paramilitary Wagner group. Wagner fights for Russia in Ukraine, but yesterday, its leader accused Russia's military of attacking a Wagner camp and killing a number of his men. But the Wagner troops, which were on their way to Moscow, turned around. And as Russia's internal conflict plays out, the war in Ukraine rages on. And it hits close to home for the thousands of San Francisco residents who were born in Russia. John Ramos hit the streets in Little Russia.
San Francisco's Richmond district is home to nearly 100,000 people of Russian descent. Still, it's hard to get anyone to talk about what's happening in that country today. That's how sensitive the war in Ukraine has made them. The news of the uprising by the Wagner mercenary group is well known in the Little Russia area of San Francisco. A young man inside this Russian bakery was willing to speak about it, but only off camera.
When I read the news for the first time, I was actually really happy, because I felt that we finally have a chance to change something inside the country. And even though I hate the Wagner's group, he is a murderer, he is a bad guy, I was thinking that he can finally change his mind and make something good for the country and to stop the Putin.
Stopping Putin is a common sentiment in this largely pro-Ukrainian community. Elena Sabri, a native of Ukraine, took some delight in having Putin's own military contractors turn against the regime.
What I believe is that Putin got what he deserved, and what goes around comes around. These people, they realize that they shouldn't be part of Putin's agenda. And now they got what they deserve too. Everybody got their deserve, whatever they deserve.
Patrimpas Propylanis, who is Lithuanian, said he's been watching as the bloviating head of Wagner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, upped his rhetoric in a personal battle with Russia's defense minister, Sergei Shoigu.
You know, it seemed to get more and more tense, and then all of a sudden they're talking about him marching on Moscow, and I thought, what the heck is going on here? Is this going to be a civil war?
That seems to have been avoided with the announcement that the Wagner forces were pulling back. But back at the bakery, the young Russian national who left his country in protest said the uprising, while not successful, may have sent a powerful message to his countrymen about the fragile nature of Vladimir Putin's totalitarian regime.
Like Russian people, they can finally see how easy to stop Putin. They might stop to be so afraid of him. It's not only about how scared he is. Now it's about how weak he is, because he can stop the military group, and if people go and grab some weapon, he can do the same.
In his angry rant before launching the uprising, Prigozhin announced that the war in Ukraine is based on a lie. The question is whether that message will make its way to the Russian people, and whether it will make any difference if it does.
Thousands of Russian refugees fled to San Francisco following the Bolshevik Revolution and Civil War in 1917. Today, the city has more than 24,000 residents who were born in Russia. Some grim news and new numbers on fentanyl deaths, not in San Francisco, but in the South Bay. Santa Clara County saw a worrying spike in overdose deaths last month, and now San Jose city officials are cracking down on drug dealers.
Look, if you come to San Jose to sell drugs, we will arrest you and prosecute you. If you were buying and using drugs outside, we're going to do everything in our power to compel you into treatment. I mean, we need to hold people accountable.
The mayor, Santa Clara County officials, and the police department are joining forces to combat the crisis in the city. As Devin Feely reports, deaths in the county more than doubled from April to May.
I had a friend overdose 2 days ago.
Sean Woody lives in a homeless encampment on the edge of downtown San Jose known as Fentanyl Row because of the drug's prevalence there.
I've used it on a few friends a few times. I know people who've overdosed quite a few times.
Sean is talking about Narcan, a potentially life-saving drug that neutralizes the effect of fentanyl and other opioids on the body. He says he carries it with him all the time and first administered it to a woman who had overdosed and passed out inside one of these portable toilets, suggesting the drug robs its users of dignity. long before stealing their final breath.
Pulled her out, laid her on the ground, put the Narcan in her nose, pushed the thing, and it didn't work the first time, so we did it the second time, and the second time she came out of it.
But the epidemic of overdoses can't be confined to this or any encampment. The Santa Clara County Medical Examiner's Office is sounding the alarm. Fentanyl deaths spiked from 17 in April to 41 in May, a 141% increase in a single month, well on the way to exceeding last year's grim total of 160 deaths.
We have seen fentanyl in both the fake pill form as well as in powder form. And the vast majority of fentanyl-related deaths actually involve fentanyl mixed with other drugs.
50 times more potent than heroin, doctors and public health officials have long known the dangers of fentanyl. But because it's cheap, highly addictive, and readily available, curbing its spread has been a challenge.
This drug here, this fentanyl, is really killing people at an alarming rate. And I think when you're addicted and you're living on the streets and you're in survival mode, then you get caught off guard.
Pastor Scott Wagers hands out Narcan as part of his ministry to the homeless, and like Sean, hopes it will save a life and loosen the grip of this terrible drug, even briefly.
I know people who use, and I don't want them to die, and just if someone needs it, I don't want to save a life if I can.
The County of Santa Clara is also offering free fentanyl test strips and Narcan kits, as well as training them on how to use them to anyone in the community. Well, in San Jose, a large fire ripped through a townhouse complex, leaving more than 30 residents displaced last night. The fire broke out on Luz Avenue near the Regional Medical Center around 10 o'clock. Fire officials say a dog died and 5 of the 7 townhouses in the complex were damaged. The Red Cross is helping the residents that have been displaced, and so far, no word on the cause of the fire. 18th Street in the Mission Castro area is flooded with thousands of people joining the 31st annual Dyke March. Dolores Park is absolutely packed. Organizers say the march is a time to come together and advocate against racism, poverty, as well as sexism and homophobia. If you plan on heading to the Pride Parade tomorrow, expect a lot of traffic. Public transit is an option, but Muni wants everyone to know many downtown bus lines are being rerouted. BART is expecting its peak travel time on Sunday to be from 10 to 2 heading into downtown San Francisco and from 4 to 8 getting out of downtown. SF Bay Ferry is also expecting high ridership for Sunday's parade. They're adding additional trips on Sunday morning and evening on the Vallejo, Oakland, and Alameda routes. Police will be taking extra steps to make sure all the celebrations stay safe. The department is canceling off days to reach staffing levels for maximum patrols. They are also on high alert because of an increase in hostile rhetoric around the country. In Oakland today, a ceremony to honor 30 young black men who have graduated the OK program and are ready to set off to either college, trade schools, or the military. OK is a nationwide program that puts black police officers in mentorship roles with youth. Their mission is to lower the rates of homicide and incarceration in the black community. The Oakland chapter serves about 500 young boys a year.
And I was a young black boy before, and like I said, the #1 cause of death for African-American males between the ages of 1 and 44 in the United States is homicide. So I think every African-American male in the United States should have an issue with that, and it's incumbent upon us, the ones who've made it, to come back and serve our community and reach back and try to help the next generation.
And 2 of today's graduates, they went home with brand new cars donated to the program by local black-owned businesses. In Montana, a train derailed into the Yellowstone River this morning after a bridge over the river collapsed. State officials say multiple tankers are leaking asphalt and other unknown substances into the river. The crash prompted emergency procedures to be put in place at several water treatment facilities in the area. So far, no injuries have been reported and no word on what caused the bridge to collapse. Today marks the 1-year anniversary since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Since the ruling, 14 states have banned or severely restricted abortion, mostly in the South. Opponents and supporters of abortion rights are rallying across the country this weekend. Here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom says he will continue to fight for the right to choose. He says California is one of 20 states that is committed to protecting and expanding reproductive rights for women as part of the Reproductive Freedom Alliance. Meantime, President Biden signed an executive order to strengthen access to contraception and called on Congress to codify Roe v. Wade. If San Francisco Pride isn't enough live music and dancing for you, there's also another Stern Grove concert tomorrow. This week, the Indigo Girls are co-headlining with indie rocker Nico Case. If you can't make it tomorrow, we'll be carrying the show live on our sister station, KBCW, and streaming on the free CBS News app. It all starts Sunday at 2. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here at 11. Good night.